Hi everyone, welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 73 for October 13th to the 16th. Thank you so much for ordering this week and thanks for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home. We are really honored. We've got a delicious menu for you tonight. Hot appetizer and hot main course, but they're just some of my all-time favorites. These are classic Rich Wilson dishes. Our smoked fish cake appeared on the menu at Gezellig when he took over there a few years ago, and it's still on the menu there. So please head on down to Gezellig if you want someone else to prepare this for you. But you're doing it tonight. I've gone ahead and put the braised short ribs in the oven. Just remove the top of the container that it came in and slide it right in there for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to try to time the rest of this stuff around the short ribs. The next thing up is going to be our fish cakes. They're beautiful. So we smoke the fish first and then put it in with some potato and vegetables, a little panko crusting. So we need 2 tablespoons of neutral oil per person. So 4 tablespoons for me. And I use grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil or vegetable oil. All of those is fine. And you want to get it medium hot, because you want to sear it on both sides, and then we're going to stick it in the oven for 8 minutes. So an easy way to do this is take a little bit of water on your hands and pop it into the oil. And if it spatters, it means it's ready to go. I just spattered it, and it was not ready to go. So I'm going to wait just another second. I've also got my lovely beef broth here on the stove on medium-low. Just stir it every once in a while. I've got my spätzle ready. I'm so excited about my spätzle. I've got the lardon, the mushrooms, the carrots. This is like the perfect warm you up kind of food. It's perfect fall dishes. Okay, so we got a little splattering going on. So I think my oil is hot enough now to sear my fish cake. So take a spatula. You want to bring it to room temperature first. So you're going to need a spatula to be able to put it in the oil so that it doesn't all fall apart. So we're going 3 minutes on each side. Let me get rid of that now. And then we're going to finish it in the oven for 8 minutes. So very important. I've also got a cast iron pan. You can use a nonstick pan. I love my cast iron pan for the spätzle, and then a big nonstick pan for the lardon and the carrots and pearl onions and mushrooms. Okay, I think we can start setting up our appetizer. So we've got our lemon vinaigrette. Put that in there. And I think I've got to add, yes, lemon vinaigrette with salt and pepper. Don't be afraid to season it generously. It brings out the flavor of the greens. And if you do this at the beginning, it will break down the arugula nicely, and you'll have a great little salad beside the plate. So I'll have that beside. And then a remoulade is going to go on beside that as well. Fish cakes, good. Hey, we've got a couple minutes, so let me tell you about the wine that we're having. Southbrook Heather's Laundry Vineyard Riesling 2017. So a Riesling with a little bit of age on it from Niagara, 4 years old. And I love this stuff. Southbrook, all organic producer, biodynamic, in fact, from Niagara, and Sperling, the winemaker, does an incredible job. And if you don't know great Canadian Riesling, you should. I always find great Niagara and Beamsville Bench Riesling has this smell of pine needles, like you're pulling down your Christmas tree. It's got beautiful acidity, lovely sort of peach pit flavors, and then a real great minerality through the middle of it. And I know it's going to be great with the fish cakes. So let's see how we're doing. Got a nice little brown. Chef Rich will be proud. Toss those over there. And there's a lot of potato in here, so they're pretty malleable. So if you screw it up like I did just there, and you can just sort of mash it back in. So give it 3 minutes here going in the oven, and then I can start working on my veg. In the meantime, why don't we work on dessert? So tonight we've got a cinnamon cake with apple compote and candy walnuts. We're going to bring everything to room temperature, place the compote on the plate, and then top the cake with walnuts. And as is our MO recently, we are trying not to have too many desserts in the house, especially after Thanksgiving. So we have one to split 3 ways tonight with my family. So one other thing I'm super excited about right now is that because I have to manage one of our restaurants tomorrow night, Executive Chef Katie Ardington, who is just back from maternity leave, is going to be filming our Big Night In kit. It'll be the first kit in probably 100 we've done now that is not filmed by me. How exciting is that? Because I can't film 2 in one night. Actually, I was going to, but then the bison ribeye that was coming in for the Big Night In wasn't in early enough. So Katie's going to film it tomorrow night. Super excited. Okay, so 8 minutes from there, it's going to come out basically exactly at the same time as the short rib, or maybe 1 minute before. So that will be perfect. Yep, 1 minute before. So I'll keep my eye on that. Now we can rock down on the vegetables. So lardon, or basically triple smoked bacon, and we're going to render that out. And the bacon fat is going to help be with the sauce, or create the sauce for the main course. And I'm a huge fan of bacon. Okay, so let's just finish off dessert real quick. Cinnamon cake, we're going to put it right on top of the apple compote. And then we've got our candied walnuts that are going on top. They might be a little stuck together, so you can crumble them around. I'm a huge fan of the pictures that you guys are posting on social media, so please keep it up. I don't know if you enjoyed Thanksgiving as much as I did this year, but it was the first time that we could have all of our family together inside in 19 months, and what a celebration it was. So I hope you're maybe sharing some curated stuff with your family, your extended family, outside today. So our cinnamon cake with apple compote, candied walnuts. There we go. Okay, so the lardon, get it melding out there. There's not a ton because it's a pretty intense flavor. And then next up, whoops, I screwed that up. We're going to get our spätzle going on. So medium-high heat, and 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person. I was pretty shocked that there was no butter in the spätzle, but Chef Rich assures me that it is not needed. And he also says that with the lardon, let me double check. Yeah, line of paper towel, got all that. Saute lardon until fat is rendered, and then you're adding the carrots. So yeah, you actually don't need to add any oil because it's the fat off of the lardon which is going to help create your sauce. But I do need to get some paper towels for the spätzle. We're going to do later on. You get to see my medicine cabinet out there. So yeah, just get a little bowl with some paper towel, and that will help with the fat off the spätzle that we're going to do. Okay, I feel like this is maybe a little high in heat. Let me turn it down. Saute lardon fat is rendered, and add carrots, pearl onions, and mushrooms with 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person now. So 2 tablespoons in total. And then the carrots and the mushrooms and then our pearl onions all going in there. Give it a nice little stir. By the way, these wonderful boxes are completely compostable or recyclable, whichever you prefer. Okay, I think my spätzle stuff is ready to go. Mix that around. For those of you who are unfamiliar with spätzle, it is a loose pasta that is from Austria, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Germany area. I'm a big fan. And you want to get it brown. So we've already done the heavy lifting cooking out of it, and it's nice and eggy. So spread it around, and then let it get a nice little brown coating on it. You can keep this going. Make sure The beef stock is good. I'm going to bring it up just a little in temperature because I accidentally turned off the oven. All right, let's get ready for our fish cakes. So begin by plating the remoulade, followed by your fish cake. So we're going to do the chef swoosh on this one. If you haven't watched this before, divide the remoulade equally. Always good to have lots of this stuff. And then you can draw your spoon through it, the back of your spoon, and that creates your little chef swoosh. And all of the gorgeous flavors. Okay, let me check out the spätzle, see if it's got a little brown. It has a little brown, but I'm going to keep moving it around a little. I want a little bit of crust to it. Don't be afraid. It can handle it. Okay, so we got 2 more minutes before the fish cake is ready and 3 more minutes before the short rib is ready. So I can talk about the Mcmanus Petit Syrah. So this is Petit Syrah, if you're not familiar with it, is a grape really indigenous to California as with this name, but it's also known as Primitivo back in Italy, which many people think is where it came from with the early Italian settlers to California. Big, rich, smoky, meaty wine and great with braised beef short ribs. And it comes through one of our favorite small producers or small distributors, the Vine. Lauren, who's Lauren Hayes Vandenway, who is the rep in Ottawa, and also happens to be married to Peter, our general manager of Becca. So we get all kinds of great access to beautiful wines from them. Okay, spätzle doing well. Did a little spin. Not a particularly technical menu tonight, but super tasty. Okay, I'm going to get the arugula down on the side, and I'm going to save a little bit for on top as well. There we go. Nice bright green. Great acidity from the lemon vinaigrette. This guy's looking good, so I'm going to turn it down. Spätzle coming along. So if you guys have ordered just the meal kits before, we have a few other awesome things to tell you about. If you love wine, we've got a great wine club subscription you can do for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And every month, Connor, our wine director, puts together 3 incredible wines, or sorry, I should say 3 to 5 incredible wines, depending on which wines and the producer and the value of them. And they ship them to your house. Great descriptions, and we do Zoom wine tastings. Every month, Connor hosts them, and it's a really fun way to connect with other wine fans out there in Ottawa. So keep that in mind, especially great for gifts around Christmas time. We're also doing corporate packages, either Zoom wine tastings for Christmas, or we've got a couple big charity events coming up soon. One is for the Outcare Foundation, another one is the Snowsuit Fund Foundation. And so you may see us advertising for those special dinners. Outcare is actually going to be a very similar menu to tonight with the short rib. So if you fall in love with it, you can support Outcare by ordering your package for November 10th and the Snowsuit Fund for the 17th. Okay, fish cake should be ready to go. Lovely, delicious, golden brown. Here we go. On the cutting board, right on top of our remoulade and our arugula. That one slid off maybe a little too far. Be careful with that. Super hot pan. And maybe I got a little bit left of arugula to top it off. It's actually better on the side. I've decided in the end that this is a better Instagram shot. So our lovely smoked fish cake with the remoulade and the arugula with lemon vinaigrette. I know my son is going to enjoy that one tonight. Okay, spätzle Looking good. Got a nice little brown crust on it. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I was supposed to drain the oil, but in fact there's no oil left in the veg. There wasn't that much to begin with. That's something you can decide on or not. But to give this a little bit of richness, we're going to put, hey Google, off. 1 tablespoon of butter per person, and then season it well with salt and pepper until the butter melts. And then we're going to be ready to go. Let me take the short ribs out. Very nice. So you're going to have one side that's going to be a little more dry because it was on top. Feel free to put that upside down so you get the nice moisture of the other stuff. When the beef jus is getting locked out, we're going to turn the Spätzle off because now we're going to put it into the paper towels to drain off the excess oil. We're going to hit with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm going to scoop that up in just a second. Okay, turn that guy off. So let's see how Chef Rich wants us to plate this. In a shallow bowl, plate the Spätzle first, followed by the mushrooms, lardon, pearl onions, and carrots. Okay, so let me grab a big spoon for this guy. Divide it up evenly, spread it out so that you can see it on the outside as well. Not everything is covering it up. Okay, very nice. Again, make sure to spread your stuff out. I definitely know which one is my picture plate tonight. Some of that on the outside. Got a little bit of the caramelized butter in the lardon jus. And then our short ribs next. Let's try that. This guy. Put some of the sauce right on top. And then finally, turn that guy off. I don't even need a spoon really. And the broth at your leisure, how much you like. My son's not a big fan of the broth, but we sure are. So we get more. I love the beef broth. Hope you can see this without me tilting it. So our lovely braised beef short rib with the lardon, mushrooms, roasted carrots, Spätzle, and pearl onions. Thanks so much for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home and for ordering this week. I hope we get to cook and curate for you again before too long.